Hi guys, and welcome back to another video, or if you're new, welcome to my video. I'm Foxheim, and today I'll be opening the Scrawlrbox from November last year. So I lost some of the footage, but luckily not a lot. I'll just tell you what's in the box instead of showing, I guess. So included in this box was the Brune Seal, Fine Leather / Brush Pens, Tokyo and Venice set, the Derwent Slim Eraser, Faber-Castell Echo Pigment Point 1. Then we have one Uniposca 1MR white, the Goldfaber Pencil 2B, and the Fabriano A5 sketchbook, which was 120 GSM, so quite thin paper. And the prompt was creating calm. I opened this box once before. Again, I only swatched the supplies. I never did anything with it because I didn't know what to do with it. I started the channel because I just started doing traditional art supplies last year. Before that, I was like 100% digital artist, so this is kind of like a rediscovery journey for me, and these boxes are really helping with that. And what I did with this box now, I would not have been able to do last year. So for me, that's a win. And it makes me enjoy these boxes even more when you're able to conquer a medium that you never thought you would be able to. Alright, enough about that. So these brush pens are actually really nice. I love them. It's the paper in the sketchbook was very thin. It didn't really handle water very well. If you just use the brush pens on their own without any water, it did fine. It did fine. However, when I did do the water on top of the brush pens and they dried, it gave a really beautiful effect. I'm not sure if it's the paper or if it's the brush pens doing that. Could be a combination. The pen they included was waterproof. The eraser wasn't great. It was fine, you know. So here I basically just tested all of the brush pens with water to see how they reacted, and actually some of them didn't really react much. Or they did react and there just wasn't a lot of pigment lifting off. Though some of them were lifting off a lot of pigment, like the blue one, the green one, and the yellow greenish one, the brown one. Some of them didn't do much at all, like the yellow one, barely anything. Look how beautiful it dried. There's two colors there that had, when it dried, it kind of gave two colors. Like it was weird. Also, these were not numbered, they had no names or anything like that. So again, I made my own system. I didn't really, in comparison to last time I did this, I didn't actually need this system because the colors are so distinctive on their own, on the barrel. But it was nice for me to separate them by package because I actually prefer the Venice edition. It had the best colors, in my opinion. But it's still was nice to have them both, to combine them, but I don't think I used that much of the Tokyo edition. bristle tips got a little separated there. I don't know why. Maybe it's normal, like with the Tombow alcohol markers that I have. It's just normal for them to do so. Really love how that blending turned out in particular. It went for the paper, but what can you expect? It's sketching paper. So I started just doing a background wash with the colors and let it dry, and then went on top of that, and then I let that dry, and etc, etc. This was a lot of fun to make. I tried to make it look like it was raining from the clouds by actually letting the water drip down, but it didn't. I don't know. Still, I really like the effect that it gave. If it looks like what I intended it to look like, I don't know. So while I was letting this dry, I started on the external piece, so to speak, and I used a different kind of paper. I used a type of Bristol, I think, that I got from a previous Scrawlrbox. So basically, you know, I'm following the challenge. The tape that I put down was not enough. This washi tape is something I bought off of Wish, and it's not very strong. It can't really take much water, so I had to reinforce that with more washi tape, as you can see I did here. So the prompt was creating calm, and you know, the only thing I could think of was flowers. Flowers are calm, I suppose. So I just drew a lady with a flower. I chose to do a orchid because I had the accent colors that I needed to paint the orchid. And instead of laying on a skin tone or skin color, I just left that part blank so that the background would shine through, and then that would act as her skin color, apart from the blush that I added. There's a part here where it just looks hideous. It looks... Bleh. But that's, it'll get better, I promise. Oftentimes, if you just stick at it long enough, it'll look decent at some point. As long as you don't overwork it, it's all gonna be okay. It was actually really nice that these brush pens had a fine liner tip on the other end. And it worked perfect for the speckles that you find on a orchid. And then I brushed over it with some water just to make it blend more into the flower instead of looking like I just pasted it on, you know? I'm really glad that they added the Y Posca. It really saved the piece. Without it, it would have not worked out. I actually didn't use the Posca that was in the box because I had the exact same one already that was open. I didn't... What's the point of opening a new one when you have one open? You know? It's so funny when the brush pens have touched water, they get lighter on the tip. You can do a gradient that way because it's lighter and then it goes darker as the water goes out of it and onto the paper. Nice little effect. I don't know what happened here, but as you can see, there's like a tiny little dot of color all the way at the bottom where the washi tape was. I have no idea when that happened. It wasn't there when I put it down. Or it must have been. It's a mystery. And this is how the paper warped. Not that it matters, paper wasn't in the box. But the paper in the sketchbook, however, was very warpy, but that's because I used a lot of water. And that's it for the box and this video. Thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate it. I'll see you in the next video. So long!